Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari and today I will recommend you movies that will blow your mind. All of these movies are unique and some of them are disturbing and eye-opening, so I think they will leave you thinking for hours about the ending or the meaning of the whole movie. You will be wondering what the heck happened, and honestly, I love those types of movies. I consider these psychological thrillers, but they all have different subgenres. Some might be horror, others action, but overall they are great and that's why I recommend them to people. I love to watch this with people who haven't watched them at all and see their reactions. That's so great. If you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. I upload videos about movies, TV shows, and books, and sometimes lifestyle. I will leave in the description below the IMDB page for every movie that I will mention. There you can see a lot of details about the movie and the cast. The last thing I have to say is that these are in no particular order. Now we're gonna start with the list. I consider this movie a classic of the science fiction genre. A true masterpiece and a must-watch overall if you like movies. It has incredible acting and a very powerful, interesting storyline. This is a heist story, but with a science fiction twist. And what we see is people going into the head of somebody else, into their dreams, and they can plant an idea into your mind without you knowing it because it is through your dreams. The characters are great. I love how they work together. The more you discover about the story, the more intrigued you are to know more and to know how it's going to end. And of course, the ending is, I don't even know how to describe it because either you like it or not, but it's very ambiguous and you will have to interpret it yourself. I'm not gonna say anything else about the ending. You have to watch this movie. This is really an experience. And I have to mention that I have now a trauma with this song that I will put right here because of this movie. Really, every time that I hear it, I feel uneasy because of how it is used for the movie, for the plot. If you know it, you will understand. So really, this movie left a big impact on me. It is amazing, truly a masterpiece. You need to watch it. This movie is all about perfection. Here we see a talented ballerina pushed to the breaking point because she wants to be the very best. The film is very mysterious and dark, and it talks a lot about the struggle that women have to perceived as perfect, to always have everything in control. And of course, the pressure that we put on ourselves to reach some impossible ideals. It is perfectly disturbing, but with beautiful scenes. I think the movie is beautiful. The dance sequences are amazing. It is everything for the movie, for the title. What you expect is there, is crazy. I think this is the best Natalie Portman performance that I've seen. It's not like I have watched all her movies, but this is a highlight. I love this movie so much. I really need to rewatch it soon. Even if in Inception, I think Leonardo DiCaprio is great, here is the best performance. He was amazing in this movie. Here we follow two US Marshals who go to an asylum on an island. They will investigate the disappearance of a patient, but that's just the beginning. The storyline evolves into a crazy thing, while the protagonist discovers a shocking truth about the place. This movie is amazing, but one highlight from this is the soundtrack. I can hear it and I can picture it right now in my head. The music takes you to this island and it's very disturbing. This is intriguing, the plot is confusing, and the more you learn about the story, the more questions you have. And it is all revealed at the end, of course. That is not what you expect. The ending is really mind-blowing. It is a big plot twist and I love it for that. There's a big level of confusion that you feel when you watch it for the first time. If you rewatch it, it's not as bad as that. It's more so you can discuss with other people what you think about the ending, but the first time that you watch it is like, yeah. Of course, I encourage you to watch it and discuss afterwards because that's what really makes the experience better. And if you have watched it, please let me know in the comments what you think about the ending. I will read you in the comments below. This movie is disturbing and I laugh about it because I show it to other people. Me and my sister show it to some cousins, to my mom, and they were very disturbed by it and they didn't like it. It is about a couple's relationship and how it is tested when uninvited guests start arriving at their house. And they disrupt their existence in very weird ways. I think this is a controversial film because a lot of people liked it and a lot of people didn't. I view it as an allegory of life, and that gives it so much more meaning than if you view it as just a psychological horror film. Of course, the first thing you see is like how the marriage is deteriorating, but it is so much more than that. That is not the main point of the story or what it wanted to tell for me. But I have to say, this is not for everyone. You can watch the trailer and see if you would like it, but you will be stressed the whole time, especially if it's the first time that you watch it. It is not an easy film, so this is the only one that I might say maybe watch it, maybe not. But interpreting and talking about it with other people is great. You can have a great discussion about this movie. It's very complex, the storyline is great, all the references and the allegory it makes is amazing in my opinion again. And I love Jennifer Lawrence in general, but here she is really good. This is the one that might not be for everyone, but if it is for you, then this is a great, disturbing movie. I didn't know if I wanted to put this movie here because I watched it recently and it blew my mind on how old it was and how ahead of its time it was, because the story is great actually. The romance is too much in my opinion. You could have had less romance for sure, but I really liked this movie. When I started watching it, I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. Tom Cruise is great here. We also have Penelope Cruz and she looks gorgeous in every scene. Sometimes this feels like a regular drama, but then it becomes a sort of sci-fi mystery film, and that's when it gets better. I don't know if this was marketed as a sci-fi fantasy movie back then, but it is, and it is very interesting. The ending is interesting, how it plays out. It's not the biggest plot twist, but it is a good one. If you want a movie that feels less heavy, but it is still interesting and will leave you thinking as well, then this is the pick for you. It's not as dark and disturbing as the rest on the list. Of course, I have to talk about one of my favorite movies, and I don't know if this is like a guilty pleasure for me because the movie gets a lot of hate. I also think this was ahead of its time, and I think it is a good movie, honestly. This is so much more than hot girls fighting in a video game-like setting, although there's a lot of that. It tackles important topics like domestic abuse and trauma. The storyline is very complex because it is divided in 3 different narratives. And I love that movie because of this. It is so clever how they use it. I love the group of girls. They are really great. And I love how the stories in the different realities are different, but the main thing, the core for the characters is the same. This is an action movie, and it is weird for me to accept that I love an action movie so much. But I love it because it has a deeper meaning for me, and it has a lot of great quotes about life too. The ending is great, and another one that will blow your mind and that you can discuss with people. This definitely deserves better than what it got for the time it came out. There's also a song at the end on the credits that is amazing. I love it, and the music they use in the movie is also great in my opinion. If you don't like this movie, I'm sorry, but honestly, I really do think it's a great film. I think it's time to talk about a classic one, and this is a movie that you have to watch more than once. The only thing I could think of was watching it again because of how it ended and how peculiar it is on the way that it tells you the story, which it can be confusing, but it is worth it. So the story is told backwards. You go back to get to know what is going on. So it's gonna feel very different for a rewatch. I still haven't rewatched it, weirdly, but I will, and I think it's gonna be a better experience than watching it for the first time. It is a bold concept and a very unique plot for the time it came out. You will be guessing all the time what is going on. And this woman, I hate her so much, and you will see why once you watch the movie. It has a plot twist, it will leave you thinking a lot. This one is not very disturbing, it's more mysterious, but I do think it's a good film. It is well acted and I recommend it. I know that this can be an unpopular opinion because there's controversy about this movie. And I only watched it once, and I accept that this movie could have been way better, but I like the concept. It has good mystery aspects. They make you wonder when perfection is too perfect to be true. So I like the ideas and the discussion that you can have through this movie too. Of course, there's a plot twist at the end, and in my opinion, it is good for the movie. I don't think it's the best, but it is something that you can discuss about, and I know some other things have touched on this topic, but still, I think this movie is worth a watch. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't. But the aesthetics are perfect and Florence is great. We're not gonna talk about Harry Styles' acting because I don't know why a lot of people hated it. I don't have anything against it. I don't think it was the best, but yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Still, I think it's an interesting watch, so that's why I recommend it here. There is no surprise that this movie had to be here. It's amazing. The complexity of the movie goes beyond the premise. The premise is a very simple one, but this really is about the social commentary, and then it has sci-fi aspects. This is my favorite Jordan Peele film, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for people who know more about his films, but for me, this is the best one. It is great at suspense and mystery. You want to know what's going on. The plot twist is amazing, and it has great humor. I haven't talked about humor in all the other movies, but this one has great humor with Chris's friend. The visuals, the soundtrack, this really makes it a masterpiece on the thriller genre. Every actor is great in their performances, but Allison Williams is amazing. The scene when she's eating cereal is in my brain all the time that I remember this movie, and it gives me the creeps. Now, this is the only comedy on the list, like full-on comedy, and it has Jim Carrey. Of course, you know how it's gonna be. But the movie really goes deeper into the existential wonder of a human experience. Great narrative and outstanding acting from Jim Carrey for sure. It is the perfect combination between drama and comedy. There are kind of creepy scenes, there's mystery, you don't know what's going on, the premise is great. The whole situation feels ridiculous at times, but very funny, and the meaning behind it is great. The ending is amazing in my opinion. It's not like a big plot twist, but it will leave you thinking a lot. The way that the movie concludes, it just closes the story in a very powerful way. I love it because of that. It is a classic, definitely, and it is brilliant. Not only a good premise, but a great execution. This movie is the most terrifying of them all, and I love it a lot. I'm not a big fan of horror, but this movie is amazing. The setting is after the Second World War. The children are photosensitive, so they have to be all in darkness. The servants have to go and open and close the doors of every room because the children can go and be exposed to the sun. That gives the movie this creepy setting for sure. And of course, the house is haunted. The children start seeing things. This has one of the biggest plot twists that I've seen, and I love it. Nicole Kidman is amazing here. A great performance, truly. All the time you feel that something is off with the characters. And the story always seems like it's going in a different direction, and that's why the plot twist is very good. The vibe that this movie has is classic and creepy. It is the best combination between a period drama and a psychological thriller, and that's why this movie is so great. Now, last one. This movie now has a part 2, which I haven't watched, but I will watch soon. I think this is the only one that takes place in a dystopian setting, and it is the only one that is an international film, not an American film. This is from Spain. Here we have a very disturbing setting. We have a prison with a platform in the middle that has food. Depends on the level where you are in this prison, if you will have the best food like at the top, or if you won't have food at all if you are at the bottom, and things get very weird from there. There's a lot of social commentary on this movie. This movie feels tragic because of the faith that you have on humanity. It has some disgusting scenes, so I don't recommend you watch it with snacks or even eating. Don't do it, but it is very great. You will be thinking about this film a lot. A lot of what you will be thinking about, or what I thought about, is if survival is more important than solidarity, and actually what's the true nature of humans in circumstances where you have to either help each other or destroy each other in order to survive. It is kind of gross and graphic sometimes, so I also think this movie is not for everyone, but I do recommend it. I like it. I want to rewatch it before I watch the new one, so That's why it's in this list. And that's it. Oh, I have my computer and I wanted to show my new Lost sticker. If you like Lost, I got it recently and I am so happy with it. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite in case you have watched them, or which one you are going to watch. Give this video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this about movies, TV shows, and books. You can subscribe right here. You can watch more of my videos here. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I will see you in the next one.